Good setups lose. Bad setups win. That's not failure. That's variance. And if you don't understand the difference, you'll break your discipline at the worst possible time. Because when a perfect setup loses, or when you take a trade outside your plan and it wins, your brain wants to draw conclusions. It wants to say the setup doesn't work, or that maybe the rules don't matter. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is random distribution playing out exactly as it should. And if you react to it like it's meaningful signal instead of expected noise, you'll destroy your consistency trying to fix something that isn't broken. Random distribution means your wins and losses don't happen in a predictable pattern. Your edge might win 60% of the time over 100 trades, but that doesn't mean you win 6 out of every 10. You might lose 7 in a row. You might win 9 in a row. Both are completely consistent with a 60% win rate. The distribution is random. Your edge controls the probability, not the order. And that randomness is what trips up most traders. Because we want patterns. We want predictability. We want to believe that if we did everything right, the trade should win. But probability doesn't work that way. Here's what random distribution looks like in practice. You take a perfect A+ setup, everything aligns, you execute flawlessly, and it loses. That's one of the 40% your edge accounts for. Then you take a marginal trade, something you shouldn't have taken, and it wins. That's one of the 60%, randomly distributed to a trade that didn't deserve it. Neither outcome tells you anything about your process. The perfect trade that lost doesn't mean your edge is broken. The bad trade that won doesn't mean your rules don't matter. They're both just variance. But if you don't understand that, you'll start changing your process based on noise instead of holding it steady through the randomness. This is where most traders lose discipline. They judge their edge by the last 3 trades instead of the last 100. They see a perfect setup lose and think, Machi Karni, maybe this setup doesn't work anymore. They see a bad trade win and think, maybe I don't need to be so strict with my rules. And both of those thoughts come from the same mistake, treating random distribution like meaningful feedback. It's not. The outcome of any single trade or any short sequence of trades tells you almost nothing about whether your edge is working. What tells you that is the aggregate, the full sample, and you only get to the aggregate by executing consistently through the randomness, not by reacting to it. The emotional challenge is that randomness feels personal. When you do everything right and the trade loses, it doesn't feel like variance. It feels like the market punished you for following your rules. When you break your rules and the trade wins, it doesn't feel like luck. It feels like proof that your rules were too restrictive. Your brain is wired to find cause and effect, to create narratives that explain what happened. But markets are probabilistic, not narrative. The outcome of this trade isn't a reflection of whether you did it right. It's a reflection of which side of the probability you landed on this time. And next time, it might be different. That's what random means. So how do you stay disciplined through random distribution? You stop judging your process by short-term results. You stop asking, how did that trade win? And start asking, how did I follow my process? Because your process is the only thing you control. The market controls the outcome, and the market distributes wins and losses randomly across your edge. Your job is to keep executing so that over enough trades, your edge shows up in the aggregate. That's it. You're not trying to win this trade. You're trying to execute this trade so that 100 trades from now, the math works in your favor. Good trades lose, bad trades win. Both will happen, and neither one changes what you should do next. If you executed your process, the outcome is irrelevant. If you broke your process, the outcome is irrelevant. What matters is whether you're adding data to your edge or whether you're reacting to variance like it's feedback. Random distribution isn't the enemy. It's the environment. And the traders who succeed are the ones who stop fighting the randomness and start executing through it. Because the math doesn't care about the last trade. It cares about the next 100. And if you stay disciplined through the variance, the probabilities handle the rest.